points. All right. All right, so there's number 2, letter A. There's number 2, letter A. All right, when in doubt, write everything in terms of sine and cosine. All right. Cosecant is 1 over sine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. You would then hopefully recognize that they are both over sine, giving them a common denominator. All right. So I can combine those. 1 plus cosine x over sine x equals sine x over 1 minus cosine x. Feel free at that point to cross multiply. When you do that, you'll have sine squared x equals 1 minus cosine squared x. And since that is basically a Pythagorean identity, we should be good to go. All right. Everybody good with 2A? Going once, going twice. All right, there's 2B. All right, cosine squared x minus sine squared x equals 1 minus 2 sine squared x. In one step, you add 2 sine squared x to both sides. You end up with cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals 1. All right. For number 3, we posted it in Google Classroom. It shouldn't have been how far is the person from Miami. Should have just been how far Kelly is from her destination. All right. Going south means a vertical line segment going straight down. The boat sails off course 25 degrees, so that's your reference angle. You're trying to figure out how far she is from the destination. All right. Since she went off for 300, it's side angle side. So you're going to use the formula x squared equals the 2 side lengths squared minus 2 times those 2 side lengths cosine of the angle between them. The result is 3,002,430.656. And then your last move is to do a square root, and that gives you approximately 1,732.8 kilometers. Make sure you completely understand that problem, as there is one nearly identical to that on your actual quarterly on Thursday. All right. Everybody good? Remember, if they give you side angle side, it's law of cosines. Side side side, it's law of cosines. Two angles and a side or side side angle, it's law of sines. For A, 1 minus cosine squared x cosecant x. Whenever you see 1 minus either cosine squared or sine squared, realize you will utilize the Pythagorean identities. That becomes sine squared x. Secant x again. When in doubt, write everything in terms of sine. So cosecant is 1 over sine. We end up with sine squared x over sine x and sine squared x over sine x, just like any variable expression results in sine x. Everybody good? All right, there's 4b, secant x times sine x over tangent x. All right, since it's a rational expression, I would use the inverse with the tangent first and move it up from the denominator to the numerator. The inverse or the reciprocal of tangent is cotangent. So it gets rewritten as secant x times sine x times cotangent x. Now we write everything in terms of sine and cosine. Secant x is 1 over cosine. Sine's going to stay as sine. And using the quotient identities, cotangent is cosine over sine. You will then notice the cosines in the numerator and denominator cancel out. The sines in the numerator and denominator cancel out, leaving you with 1. All right. Everybody good with 4b? All right, and then there's 4c, cosine x plus cosine x tangent squared x. Hopefully you recognize they both have cosine x as a factor, so you pull that out. The result is just like factoring out a variable term. We divide, the result would be 1 plus tangent squared x inside. By Pythagorean identities, 1 plus tangent squared x is secant squared x. Remember, with those, the cos go together and the non-cos go together. So 1 plus cotangent squared x would be cosecant squared x. In this problem, secant squared using reciprocal identities can be rewritten as 1 over cosine squared x. The result would be cosine x over cosine squared x. When we're done with the division, we would have 1 over cosine x. And 1 over cosine x is equivalent to secant x. Good. Going once. Going twice. Okay. So then let's talk about the quarterly. All right. So for tomorrow, we will go over 7, 8, and 9. All right. I plan on being in class for the vast majority of the time tomorrow, as we're going to start exponents when we're done with the quarterly review. Now, the quarterly itself. All right, the quarterly itself. All right. Get this as big as I can. So the quarterly itself obviously is Thursday. All right. A and virtual students will take it at 9:30, the regular class time. Okay, B students will take it after school. Do not have a means of taking it after school. If you do not have a means of taking it after school, then please let me know via email in my regular email, and we will make accommodations for you to be able to take it in school on Thursday. All right, so the quarterly will be on Thursday. It will be in Edulastic. It will be made up of 15 multiple choice questions. All right, it will be made up of 15 multiple choice questions. All right, tomorrow, make sure you submit the review. Make sure you submit the review. All right. And then I will post a reference sheet for you to be able to use during the quarterly. I will post a reference sheet for you to use during the quarterly. All right. And I will remind you of this over the next couple days. All right. So what that means is on Thursday. All right. What that means is on Thursday, A students, group A, and virtuals, no live stream. Thursday, A student and virtuals, there's no live stream. All right, so obviously the lesson we do on Thursday in class for the B students will be redone on Friday. All right, and then that means on Friday, B students, all right, what you will have to do is answer one question in Edulastic for attendance purposes. All right, so on Friday, B students do not need to participate in the live stream unless they want to. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. All right, but on Friday, B students, for attendance purposes, have to go to Edulastic, answer one question, and then that will count for attendance for the day. All right. So taking it one day at a time, tomorrow, all right, tomorrow, which is Wednesday, class, go over the rest of review. We will start exponentials, that's everybody. So expect to be in class the vast majority of the time tomorrow. And then the assignment, submit the quarterly review by 11:59 p.m. So midnight. All right. Okay, so basically I'm going to stay on here until 10:13, which is when the period ends. You got the remaining 25 minutes to work on those last 3 problems. Feel free to ask any questions, whether you're in class or at home. I'll be here the whole time. Bye, guys.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Be good. Be good.